What do you think about her tweets?
This is the left 101. When it doesn't go my way, it's racist, and any black man or woman involved in the process who didn't agree with them, obviously they're irrelevant. So that was the diss. Just go wham, just complain. I mean, that's what children do. They never can accept a decision. And affirmative action the case was even being brought up because Asian Americans felt that they were not getting a fair opportunity. So rich white people didn't have nothing to do with that.
Never introduced a fresh idea or issue in her life. The reason why she gets along with Bernie is because she's like an 80-year-old leftist in a used bookstore. I mean,
this is the comedy clash you didn't know you needed. AOC steps into the spotlight, ready to own the moment. Then Tyrus, the human wrecking ball of savage humor, shows up. In seconds, the whole scene is torn apart by jokes so brutal they should come with a warning. What happens next? Shocking, unfiltered, and totally unforgettable.
When you don't have anything to talk about in terms of merit, you just blame it on rich white people. And it's been a cushion that's been allowed in this country for a long time. And now as you see more, that's the new pillow. My pillow's got nothing on the new pillow of blame rich white people, because you can rest your head on it in any argument. Bring any argument up with me, anything. Sure. Ask me any question. How are the Knicks doing this year? Well, why am I supposed to know that? I'm not a rich white person. See what I'm saying?
If you think this is just entertainment, hit that subscribe. You'll see why it matters. Politics loves a good drama, and AOC knows how to deliver it. Every gesture, every line, she turns even the simplest moments into a full-blown performance. Walking into a room, she doesn't just enter, she commands it like she's about to give the State of the Union, even if it's just to grab a coffee.
The unaffected are completely out of touch of everything. This is a big country. Some people, regardless of high inflation, are still gonna fly to go. It has nothing to do with lower class Americans who are struggling to pay bills, or people just make their decisions. It's just, they're so out of touch, and they worry about other things, the wrong things, like pardons and perceptions and how they're looked at, instead of just shutting up, step out of your little bubble, maybe close the safe spaces, walk out on this crunchy green stuff called grass, and get involved in the world and see that things do.
Every word she utters feels urgent, like someone warning the world about a meteor on a collision course. But that night, the spotlight wasn't hers. It belonged to Tyrus, the man who can flip a tense room into a comedy circus with a single eyebrow raise. Known for landing punchlines like body slams, he turned the stage upside down in seconds.
The decision?
No, of course they didn't read the decision. And again, these are all successful men and women of color who all have educations, who are sitting on top of the mountain calling foul. This is just the par for the course. It is just, what is the narrative? Oh, that's the way we're going with it? But it was nice to see white men get a break. You know what? Because you've had a rough year. They started blaming some stuff on white women. So you guys get a little bit of the feel.
AOC didn't see it coming. The master of sarcasm was in the room. You'd think a seasoned politician would know when to hold back, but she dove in headfirst, convinced everyone would leave inspired, informed, maybe even ready to put her face on the $10 bill. With every dramatic pause and statistic, she practically screamed, "I've cracked humanity's code and only I can save you."
We have Fastest and we have fan mail, and I just can't listen to those Nate Silvers and these Saliza people just bites into this glorious show. AOC. What? She's kind of fun in a silly but earnest, wrong but adorable way. She's like your daughter when she comes back from her first year at Brown, full of half-baked, half opinions, in need of some gentle, patient deprogramming. But people have to realize new faces doesn't mean new ideas.
AOC strutted onto the stage like a superhero in her own origin saga, delivering epic gestures and soaring speeches. The crowd clapped, politely, barely impressed, while she soaked it up like a victory parade. Then Tyrus stepped in, and everything changed. No flashy stats, no dramatic pauses, just razor-sharp wit and a single devastating simplicity that left the room gasping.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she responded to this ruling on Twitter as well. She says if the Supreme Court was serious about their ridiculous color blindness claims, they would have abolished legacy admissions, aka affirmative action for the privileged. 70% of Harvard's legacy applicants are white. SCOTUS didn't touch that, which would have impacted them and their patrons. Does she have a point there?
She used the word ludicrous. That was cool. That was new. But again, it's the same argument. No matter what you're doing, that it's all white people's fault, and it's just such a great talking point, to the point where it's just literally, if it was a dying horse, would say please.
While AOC piled on speech after speech, Tyrus sat poised like a predator, ready to knock the whole tower down with a single sarcastic strike. But first, let's give credit. She worked the room hard. She gripped the microphone like a lifeline, paced the stage with the precise rhythm of a seasoned orator, and waited for applause that trickled in awkwardly, a mix of polite encouragement and thinly veiled pity. Every ounce of her intensity made her more exposed, more vulnerable to the comedy wrecking ball that was about to drop.
Never introduced a fresh idea or issue in her life. The reason why she gets along with Bernie is because she's like an 80-year-old leftist in a used bookstore. I mean, she may look fresh, but she's as stale as an abandoned futon on the street. It's like, I listen to her, I go, I heard that at Berkeley in 1983. So their problem is, and the reason why they don't have any ideas is they operate on
AOC thrives on authority, and she built her brand on controlling the narrative, setting the tempo, expecting followers to hang on every word. But comedy doesn't play by those rules. The moment laughter starts, authority evaporates, and Tyrus was standing there with a slingshot, ready to shatter the tower she had so carefully built. The room stopped listening to her speeches. They were waiting to see what Tyrus would do next. Timing is everything in humor, and he wielded it flawlessly. His dismantling wasn't fueled by anger, it was pure surgical comedy. While AOC was busy crafting dramatic moments and even beefing with billionaires on Twitter, Tyrus reframed her performance. He turned grandiose lectures into a late-night improv sketch, mocking her habit of turning minor incidents into apocalyptic warnings, and even poking fun at her social media theatrics. A Wi-Fi outage? A national emergency? Instagram stream paused? Conspiracy alert. Every over-the-top metaphor, every dramatic pause became his punchline. He highlighted the irony. AOC campaigning against capitalism while cruising in a Tesla, posing for glossy photos, and owning a pricey French bulldog, all while asking average Americans to forgive her loans. The crowd couldn't help but laugh. Tyrus didn't need to confront her directly. He simply stripped away her solemnity, exposing the gap between her rhetoric and her lifestyle. Each joke landed harder because she remained serious. By the time he was done, the untouchable aura around AOC had crumbled. What was meant to be awe-inspiring transformed into pure comedy. Her dramatic gestures, her doom-laden speeches, and her carefully rehearsed theatrics became fuel for laughter. By the end, the audience wasn't applauding. They were laughing at the spectacle of a once commanding figure reduced to a melodramatic character. And that, more than any critique, was the most brutal and hilarious victory of all.